This is Avinash Kumar Rai, 17 BC 2328. I'm going to present my project, image processing project. So let me share my screen. So my project title is Image Fusion using Stationary Wavelet Transform. And yeah, so I am an individual member in my group, Avinash Kumar Rai, registration number 17 BC 23828. And the project, my faculty advisor name is Dr. Chiranji Lal Chaudhary. Yeah. So then let's talk about the contribution. So being the individual member in the group, everything starting from the data collection and resizing the data and applying the stationary Webley transform in this case was performed by me, and also all the literature survey review and like output analysis and evaluation, applying fusion rule, everything was performed by me individually. So now let's start with the introduction of my project. So yeah, so let's talk about fusion first. So as mentioned here, image fusion is a process of combining multiple input image into a single output image, which contain a better description of the scene provided by any of the individual image. So basically, feature is image fusion. Basically means like taking multiple images and like taking the goodness of both the images, and we'll be applying fusion to both the images so that we can get maximum information from both these images. So the need of image fusion for high resolution on panchromatic and multispectral image or real world image for better. So let's consider an example. Let's consider like a taken scenario where there is one multispectral image which is of high resolution, and another one is of panchromatic image which is basically of low resolution. So there might be some scenario when a researcher or scientist may want about the high resolution image, but like this is not a convenient always to have a like high resolution camera lens and all that stuff, that might be costly affair. So so solution to that problem will be taking multiple images, and we can fuse those images, and we can still get like higher resolution image to interpret the data well. So image fusion techniques are widely used in various applications. There are various applications for this image fusion technique, such as remote sensing, medical imaging. And medical imaging can be like very good practical implementation of this fusion technique. We can consider like MRI or anything, do MRI, and like sometimes there are some like images which are not easier to implement, interpret even for the physician. So we can do one thing, we can take multiple images and then we can apply fusion techniques. So it will be easier for them to interpret. And so yeah, so this is the main motive or agenda of this fusion is to enhance the content. Like will be given some blurred image. Consider a matrix of image, two images, which are basically a matrix of pixels. So consider a one image in which is blurred at top left, but on top down side it is more clearer. And consider second image, which is like top portion is clearer, but bottom down is blurred. So we can do one thing, we can use the concept of fusion on both these images to get a better output image. So image fusion techniques are important as it improves the performance of object. So it can be used in object recognition system. So as in deep learning also, like our model will train better if we before applying the images to the model, we can pre-process that, and we can use these things as a pre-processor also. Like will be given two images, and then we can apply these fusion techniques. In my case, we are applying stationary wavelet transform, and then like for transforming the image into frequency domain, and then we'll be using fusion rules. And after getting the coefficient of transformation, we can apply inverse stationary wavelet transform to get the image back. So that was the case. So we can get the more enhanced image and then feed it to our model to learn it better. It can represent the future in like features of an image in better way. Yeah, so that yeah, and we can take an example of image captioning also. So image captioning, if we are like for any image, consider a scenario when there are like we are having multiple images, but the images are blurred. So we can apply this fusion rules over there, and then after that, we can use it to caption image capture. Even satellite space station might be using this. Like they might be capturing sequence of images. Sequence of images might be captured by satellite cameras. So we can use this fusion technique to get a more enhanced image at lower cost. So this is the use case of that. So it can also help in sharpening the edges of the image, improving geometric corrections in certain features that are not visible in either of the image. Like suppose we can take the resolution case. If like in some part in image A and B, so in some part of image A, the resolution is very low, and in B also it is low. So we can merge it and we can like apply the fusion to get best out of it, and replace the defective data, complement the data set for better decision making. So decision making in the sense for object recognition system and all that applications. So let's take an example. So you can see that like in this first image, this one, this part over there, background of this is not that much clear, but this structure is clear. In this case, if you see, this structure is not clear, like this is blurred, but the background is clear. So after applying the fusion on these two both input images, we're getting the output image in this form. We can see that background is pretty much clear, and also this structure is also clear. So this is the main motive. This is just for the sake of motivation. We'll be discussing more on the like project implementation. We can see over there the clarity of the image. So it combines the significant information from two or more source image. So multiple image, as we have told, into single resultant image that describes the scene better and retain useful information from the input. So there might be some case like a single image is not able to capture the more usefulness, like based on the context our research, that particular information is missing. So this might be used in that case. A high resolution panchromatic image gives the geometrical, yeah. So like we can even make like use this algorithm in hybrid images. Like suppose we are having two images, like one is high resolution panchromatic image, so it will give a better geometric detail of an image because of presence of man-made object. And also we can have low resolution multispectral image which give color information. So we can blend this blend this advantage of two image, and we can get more enhanced image in the sense. So this multi this like image fusion using stationary wavelet transform, this is very like useful for this application scenarios. So now let's discuss about stationary wavelet transform. So basically, for any like let's talk about the root of this wavelet transform. So basically, in wavelet transform, what we are doing is we'll be taking the image, and then we'll be applying this wavelet transform technique, and then we'll be transforming like a image. What is image? Image is basically a matrix of pixel. So we'll be taking this matrix thing, and then we'll be applying this discrete wavelet transform, and then it will get transformed into frequency domain. So it will be now in frequency domain. So yeah, so and we'll be in our project we're using stationary wavelet transform. So this is basically like this is same as discrete wavelet transform. So we'll be discussing more about this stationary wavelet transform. What is this? So a 2D stationary wavelet transform image yield 4 component. So stationary wavelet transform, like basically this is a frequency band, we can say. So high frequency and low frequency. So it will have four component: approximation coefficient, horizontal coefficient, vertical coefficient, and diagonal coefficient. So this will the component. A stationary wavelet transform is like a discrete wavelet transform, like we have told earlier. But the only difference is, like in discrete wavelet transform, for every level of hierarchy, if you are going to next level of hierarchy, we are downsampling the resolution by 2, because it is following the Nyquist principle, in which that discrete wavelet transform, the main agenda is to remove the redundancy. There might be redundancy. So in discrete wavelet transform, we are performing the downsampling. So after each level, we are losing half resolution of the parent level. But in this case, we are not downsampling. We are removing all the downsampling cases. So it will preserve all the resolutions uh, of the parent input image. So here you can see so how it works. So let's consider this is the input image. In this case, this is the input image. So yeah. So let me tell you one thing. I forgot to mention about filter. So basically, our image is 2 dimensions, and filter is 1 dimension. So we have to apply filter over this image to transform it. Yeah. So we cannot apply directly to our all the image, as this is 2 dimension and the filter are 1 dimension. So what we have to do is, either we can traverse through row wise order, or we can traverse it through column wise order, or vice versa. We can do anything. So we'll be using like that. So in the first level, first case, we are taking an image and we are applying the transformation using there two like high pass filter and low pass filter. So low decomposition and high decomposition. So we are applying across the row of an image, and we'll be getting low LD and HD. And after getting this row, we'll now apply after getting this output, we'll now apply it to the column of an input image. We'll now apply the transformation to column of an input image. So we'll be getting LD, HD, LD, HD. So and this is the like 4 subband. So in this is basically a first level decomposition. We have decomposed till one time only. So this is the first level decomposition, and after the first level decomposition, we'll be getting 4 subband: LL1, LH1, HL1, HH1. So we'll be discussing what are the significance of this band in stationary wavelet transform. So the image is transformed into frequency domain by applying SWT. I've told earlier. After the transformation apply, we'll be getting 2 sub band, uh, high and low frequency subband. We'll be using high and low pass filter for this transformation. So yeah, here it is. So in earlier image, we have seen we have got the 4 subband. So LL stand for approximation of input image. So basically, low pass filter will carry the approximation of that input image. So this LL1 has passed through only low pass filter, low pass filter, low pass filter. We can see in this image. So it will contain all the approximation of this input image. So now this one, LH1. LH1 is horizontal feature. So LH1 will LH1 will contain the horizontal feature of input image. So LH1, let's see. So it will contain horizontal feature, as it has passed through row wise LD and HD. So this will contain the horizontal feature, and HL will extract all the vertical feature of an image, and HH will extract, like HH has, like in this case, if you see, HH has passed through, like high pass filter has even passed through rows and columns. So it will contain diagonal of diagonal information of the image, along the diagonal of the image. So in this case, we have divided our for our image, we have divided it into frequency domain, and it has been divided into 4 components, and 4 subbands, and each subband will have its particular significance of that detail of that image. So yeah. So now implementation, how it works in the discrete wavelet transform. There are mainly 3 steps. 3 steps we need to perform. So let's see each step one by one. Decompose, fuse, and reconstruct. So basically, for a given image, we have to decompose it into frequency domain, and then we have to like after decompose, like decomposition basically means transforming, like in this case we are applying stationary wavelet transform. So we are transforming the image, and then after transforming the image we'll be getting like coefficient, right? As we have seen earlier, we'll be getting the coefficient. So we'll be using that coefficients, and based on some fusion rule technique like maximum selection or average selection or minimum selection, we will be taking the coefficient of those for the both the images. In this case we are taking two images, so we'll be applying that, and then we'll be applying the fusion rule, and then we'll be getting one matrix. So again we'll be transform like we'll be applying inverse of stationary wavelet transform. So let's start with image. The first step is in applying discrete wavelet transform. Image fusion is decomposing each input image by treating images as signal and decomposing them using low pass filter and high pass filter. And basically these are one dimension filters. So yeah, so and then repeat that diagram. So like we can repeat this decomposition many number of time, like as per our wish. In our course we have even done for one level decomposition, and even we have checked for two level decomposition. So and then repeat the decomposition repeat time to get the final decomposition level of the generator new low and high filter. Yeah, so for applying next level of decomposition we'll be taking LL. Let's see this one. I'll do it. So we'll take this LL as it is containing all the approximation of an image. So we'll be taking this LL, and then this will be a new input image. Like we'll be consider this as a new input image, and again we'll apply the same process we done. Whatever we done, we will apply the same process to get the next level of decomposition. So so here we for every level you'll be getting some coefficient, right? Now like this is the fusion process. So fuse a multi scale image, select maximum, select minimum, average. After getting the final decomposition level for each input image, will be end up getting two coefficient for. So you are taking two input image, right, in a project. So we end up getting two coefficient for each images, the approximation coefficient and the detail coefficient. So the next step would be to use fuse them, and to do that there are three different fusion methods. In the select maximum, we compare each matrix value. So uh, let's see the scenario. So after decomposition and all that coefficient thing we have got, so there will be two matrices for two images, image A and image B. So we'll compare each matrix with the corresponding value in both the matrix. Suppose A11 to B11, we'll see, and whatever is the maximum will be taking as an output in output matrix. So this says this only, and in the minimum case we take minimum. So these are the techniques to apply fusion. So fusion rule. The method is to select wavelet coefficients by selection rules. So this is the fusion rule. Register the low resolution image. So we'll register the image for decomposition. Decompose these images. Select the maximum absolute wavelet coefficient. So we'll be taking like maximum coefficient in like both the images, and to get matrix of output image. So it goes like this. See, this is the image A and this is the image B. So we have applied first level of decomposition. We have got this 4 band. In the image B also, we have applied this first level of decomposition using stationary wavelet transform. So this is stationary wavelet transform. That means the resolution has not decreased. So we have got this. So after that, we'll be getting the coefficient from here and from here. So we'll in this case we are applying a maximum rule. So we'll be taking a maximum of those two values, and we'll construct this matrix, and then after that we'll apply inverse stationary wavelet transform to get our image back. And see, so if we have applied for second level decomposition, and if you want to get the image back, so you have to apply this process. We have to perform this process twice to get the reverted step back. So for k level decomposition in generalized, if we say for k level decomposition, we have to perform k times this operation. And then image reconstruction phase. Yeah, this is like how to get the image back, like applying inverse stationary wavelet. Finally, after getting the fused image, fused approximation coefficient or detail coefficient, we can get the final fused image by applying inverse discrete wavelet transform. So this is the image. So yeah, see this case. This case we have applied two level decomposition, I'll say. So because it's in this one you can see this is further more divided into four subband. So as our decomposition increases, each level will be divided into four more subbands, and then will be applying some fusion rule over here, and from these both the metrics will be constructing this new one. And see, this is W stand for wavelet transform, stationary wavelet transform, and after constructing in this fused wavelet coefficient, we'll be applying inverse of this one. So now we'll be getting enhanced fused image, which is of better quality. Yeah, so now let's head over to our implementation part. So for implementing my code, I've used MATLAB. So now let's see our implementation. So here the code is. So as I have told earlier, I've used stationary wavelet transform. That is basically a category of discrete wavelet transform. The difference is that like in stationary wavelet transform, we are not downsampling after the consecutive level. So that thing. So and in my code, I've used level 1 decomposition as well as level 2 decomposition. So you can see that. So first of all, in this line, it will ask with the user which level decomposition the user want, level 1 or level 2. So after that, the user gives his entry. This line will be executed. Uh, then it will that pop-up box will ask about whether the uh, image is RGB image or black and white image. In our case, like we are considering both image, RGB as well as black and white. But even for RGB image, we'll convert that image to black and white only for further processing. So yeah, so this is level 1. So according to the input of the user, the particular function will be called. Like we have defined the function called level 1 for black and white image, level 1 for RGB image. Similarly, for level 2 black and white and level 2 RGB. So like whenever the user enters his choice, a particular function will be called. Consider this function. This will be called when like user will select level 1 black and white image. So as soon as this function is called, uh, this command will be executed, which will like ask us to uh, browse from our local machine to get that particular image. So this is considered this is first image, and similarly this is second image. So this two will ask about our both the input images, and here we are plotting the input image to get to analyze that like accuracy with the output. So as I've told earlier, like if you apply, so this is the command to transform our image. So this IM1 and IM2 are our images, and we are applying stationary wavelet transform to transform our image into frequency domain. So I've told earlier that if you transform our image into frequency domain, we'll be getting four four component. Uh, these are the four components for image 1, and these are the four components for image 2. And here comes the main role of image fusion. Here we are using image fusion principle. So as I've told in PPT also, so PPT we have told uh, like a low level filter will contain the approximate of that particular input image. So here for both these A1, L1, A2, L2, these are the approximate for image 1 and image 2. So we'll be taking that and averaging them simply. So for like fusion rule for them is this one. This is we are adding up and then taking the average. And these are like uh, H1, L1, as we have said earlier, this is horizontal feature of that image, and this is the vertical one. So like each of the four component will be having one will be having a horizontal feature, one will be having vertical feature, and the third one will be having diagonal feature. And LL like A1, L1 will be having approximate of that image. So for each of these, we are applying like corresponding component wise, we are applying these fusion operations. So for approximation, we are applying averaging, and then for diagonal this one, and then this is for horizontal, and this is for vertical operation. We are using like we are taking like matrix by matrix, we are applying like as I explained earlier, matrix by matrix, we are applying these rules. So these are the rules, and after this we'll be getting one matrix. So like these are the matrix. So these are here. So now after getting these things, we'll again take the inverse of the stationary wavelet transform to get the image back. So this was the case for uh, level 1 black and white function. Now let's consider our level 1 RGB. So in this case also same. So like accepted format of our images, these are the accepted format. So now after taking the image from the user, what it will do is it will convert to gray scale, RGB to gray. Now after getting that, now this will ask for second image. So two image we are having, I am1 and I am2. After that, we'll be plotting for input image, and same case we are applying. We are applying stationary wavelet transform. So we'll be getting four subcomponent, and similarly, we are applying all this. Like for approximation, we are doing averaging, and then for diagonal, for horizontal and vertical. So corresponding we'll be doing, and then we'll be getting this one as a we'll be getting output image after applying inverse stationary wavelet transform. Now let's come to level 2 black and white. So if we see here, so level 2 means after getting after decomposing to level 1, we'll again decompose. If we again decompose, then again that LL1 part means that approximate part will get divided into 4 part more. So if we see here, so now in this case, like level 2, we have to further to apply some more pre-process to our image. So to to get the better resolution, so I have used CLAHE, contracts adaptive histogram equalization. So it will equalize stretch our image to make it uniform. So these are the parameters for that, and this is the clip limit. The clip limit by default is 0.01, so we have set it to 0.02. To what limit it will avoid oversaturation of our image in the area where there are homogeneity is more. And this distribution, like for in scenario of natural images, we are taking as relative. So after this, our image will be transformed to CLAHE, and will get output as IM1. So after this processing for both the images we are doing, so after this processes, will be getting our image, and then we are applying stationary wavelet transform. So in this case, you can see like this is level 2. I have said earlier also. After level 1 decomposition, again we are decomposing. So if you can see this both of these line are for level 1. After this, we got this. So again, if you see A1 L1 and A2 L2, these are the approximate. So again, this is acting as input image. In this case, consider this. See, this was the input image, I1, IM1 and IM2. But in this case, the input image is this both approximate component. And again, we will apply stationary wavelet transform. We'll be getting this 4 band again more. So now in this case, we have to do fusion rule. So this is for this was for first level, and whatever coefficient we'll be getting, again we have to do the fusion for second one. So this is the case. So similarly, we are doing like averaging of the both. After that, this is for the diagonal component, and this is for the horizontal. And similarly here also we have to do. And then after getting that, see, I've told for k times, for k number of decomposition, we have to perform inverse of that operation k times again. Like we have to revert back again the same time, like whatever times we came we transformed, Again, we have to apply that much time of inverse of the transform to get the enhancement. So similarly, we are applying 2 times inverse stationary Weber transform. We'll be getting our output image, and also like see for in this case, in our case, we are performing fusion operation. So peak signal to noise ratio is very like essential parameter to evaluate the performance of our output image. So, and the higher the value of this, that means the higher the value of PSNR will be, like the better the fusion is applied to our image, so the better enhanced image we got. And correlation also, like we are comparing whether that image, like whether the both to with respect to both the input image, whether the output image is same, or whether that is deviated, or we are getting some outliers, like out of range something, or that we are like measuring correlation also. So this is, we will be plotting that, and that this is for level 2 RGB. So similarly, first we'll be taking the these image. After that, we have to transform it to our grayscale. We have taken the two image, and then yeah. So this is also the important criteria, especially for in the case of RGB. We have to resize the image to the power of 2, to the power of 2 power n. So we are doing that, and after that, this as I've said earlier, in stationary wavelet transform will not be downsampling. This is the case of discrete wavelet transform, where downsampling can decrease our resolution, so we are upsampling that image. After that, we'll be applying the stationary wavelet transform, same as in case of black and white. So same like that formula will be there. We'll be taking this again, and we'll be applying that. And then this is the fusion rule. Like fusion will be like after getting the coefficient from both the image, the transformation coefficient, like detail coefficient and approximation coefficient. Approximation will be getting from lower one, and detail will be like horizontal, vertical, and diagonal. So we'll be applying for both the metrics. We'll be applying this operation, and then afterward, again for like this is second level decomposition. So we'll apply like inverse operation twice, and we'll get operation, and then again we are evaluating on the basis of PSNR, peak signal to noise ratio, and correlation values. So now let's see our running code. So we're running our code now. So let's run the code. So we are running this. In MATLAB, it will take some time. We'll wait till that. Now, if you see, it is asking us which level of decomposition we want to test. Like we have written code for both the levels, so we can do for anyone. So first, let's check for this one, level 2, for RGB, that is clear image. So now we have to browse through this. Let's take this one, first image. We will have to give two input images. So that was first image, and then this is second image from our data set. So after this, so let's share our screen to that output so that we can view our output better. So if you see, this is the input. This is the input. If you see, text is clear. Let's maximize it. So text here this book thing is clear, but text is this, and in this picture if you see, it is exactly opposite. This text is clear, but book is not clear, and this book is clear. So now let's see the output. Now let's share the screen to the output. So this is the output. So if you see this is the output, then we can observe that this text is also clear and this background is also clear. And now let's see the evaluation parameters. So we have evaluated on the basis of PSNR and correlation. So if you see, PSNR is like peak signal to noise ratio, which is basically the main evaluation criteria for fusion rules. So if you see 21.22, so which is quite high, and higher the value of PSNR, higher is the quality of our fusion. And we have also calculated the correlation, which is close to 99 and 99 for both the image. So we can we can say our fusion has done pretty well. Now let's check for the another one. So now let's again go to our MATLAB, and here, sorry, MATLAB was supposed to be MATLAB. So now let's run it again for a second again. Let's run it again. This time level 1 will take RGB only, and again no problem. So let's do this for the image. So it will calculate. So it won't be visible. We have to share that thing. So again we have to share first this input image. So you can see, let me maximize it. So see, this thing is clear in this second image, but in this image this is blurred, but this flower is clear. In this image this flower is blurred and this is clear. So after applying this fusion on both the images, you can see, let's say the output thing. See output here. See, output is even this flower is clear and this flower is clear. So we can say this has like enhanced, and after that, so now let's go back to our MATLAB. So that is the thing. We have seen the performance for two images. We can do for all the images any type of like for level 1 and level 2, you can do anyone. So this was my project. Now I want to thank VIT, my school scope, like School of Computer Science Engineering, and most importantly, our faculty, Dr. Sunajila Chaudhary. He has always motivated and guided me to complete this project on time. So thank you, sir, and thanks to everyone, all of my well wishers. Like not talking about like COVID-19 situations. Like this is the pandemic in which almost 90% of the countries of the world are suffering, and we in India also we are suffering a lot. So, but like we can come out of this. We have to follow all the guidelines from the government because this that is for our betterment only. So we have to take it positively. And the most hard hit sector due to this lockdown is our like working sector, that is laborers. They're not able to get back to their home. So, and our economy is also suffering a lot, but slowly will progress, so no problem in that. And about tension growing between India and China in Ladakh border, mm, China has like tried to occupy some Indian land. So after that, our Indian army also retaliated, and after that, the tension started to grow between them. But personally, what I feel is it should be solved in a proper diplomatic way. Thank you.